What's going on, Jerome's? So the drama, the soap opera with Kirk with Jerome Ezekiel Cousins, rounding the corner, headed into the season, maybe series finale of what's going on this offseason, and all the talk. Oh, I have legitimate sources that Kirko is packing up and moving to Atlanta and all that stuff. Or did Florida get played by Kirko's agent? Who knows? Who knows? But it does seem to be down to the wire between Kirk and the Vikings and Kirk and the Falcons, and I think that's it right now. That's at. I think some other teams, Steelers, no. Broncos, no. So I think it's Atlanta or Minnesota or bust. And Kirk, I'm of two minds. I know that Kirk played at a high level over the last 2 years. I think that he and Kevin O'Connell have worked great. I think that his chemistry here with Justin Jefferson and his teammates love him. He's got the locker room. I think that this is his best chance to win a Super Bowl before he hangs him up. I think that he knows it. And Kirk's always been about the money, so there's going to be some cash involved. But I think that in terms of a relative pay cut, not pay cut, leaving money on the table, take a little bit less to market. I think that Kirk could potentially be open for it, but also it wouldn't be shocked if he gets a 3-year fully guaranteed deal with the Falcons. But I do believe that the Falcons might be dragging their feet a little bit. Who knows? But with Kirk, I am of the mind of Kwesi and the team, where it's like, hey, we would love to have you back, but it's going to be a 1-year deal, and only up to X amount of dollars. All right, I think that's where we're currently at. Oh, and we're going to draft a quarterback. I think that's a non-negotiable this offseason. Whether Kirk is here or whether he's not, the Vikings do need to draft themselves the quarterback of the future this time around. But ESPN, Dan Graziano, Jeremy Fowler, NFL free agency buzz, last minute intel, blah, 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 blah. This is what they wrote about Kirko. Graziano, if you're already picturing Kirk Cousins in a Falcons uniform, we are. You might be jumping the gun. As of the end of this week, Cousins and the Vikings were still talking, and hey, Kirk, why do you have so many VHS tapes? How come I said VHS like Australian? Anyways, Vikings are still talking, and while Minnesota hasn't gotten its offer to the point Cousins wants it, I get the sense the Vikings are still very much in this thing. Cousins likes it there. His family likes it there. But did they know that his wife's from Georgia? He's playing for an outstanding play caller in Kevin O'Connell and throwing to one of the best receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson. The fans like him. I like it's the fans like him. They don't love him. There's no question it's his team. He could absolutely leave if he doesn't get what he wants in a contract, and Atlanta lurks as a possible, even likely destination if that happens. But until the league year opens, the Vikings still have a shot to keep him off the market. Jeremy Fowler. The Vikings are still in the game for Cousins. One team, South, said, we're not out of it, while another told me it feels like a 50-50 proposition, which leads to 50-50 with crystal ball. If you get this reference, you're my friend. You're fantastic. No-Ho Hank is one of the best characters in TV in the last decade. He's really good, man. Atlanta has remained a major threat, and that hasn't changed. He is believed to be the Falcons' #1 target, with owner Arthur Blank motivated to solve Atlanta's quarterback issues. But then you see reports that they might be balking at the price tag because, I don't know, like Arthur Blank, Home Depot dude, is like, I might have to jack up the price of lumber just to pay for Kirk. The sense is Minnesota wants to re-sign Kirk Cousins, but will have its limits after paying him $185 million over the last 6 years, and the Vikings have considered the possibilities should Cousins leave and could use both free agency and the draft to fill the void. How about this? How about the Falcons sign Baker Mayfield just to stick it to the Buccaneers in division? That would be hilarious. That would be really funny. So what's really going to happen? Who knows? And it could turn out that deep down Cousins was never going to leave. He and his agent were just trying to leverage a little bit of guaranteed money or a little bit of more of a pay rise in 2025 and beyond. And maybe the Falcons thing was just one huge feint, because I think personally, I think that the Falcons would like Kirk Cousins, but if the price is right, I think they're in a very similar situation to the Vikings, where it's like, hey, Kirk, we love you. We would like you here, but you're going to be 36 and coming off that popped Achilles, so we're not going to break the bank, and the Vikings aren't going to break the bank. And hell, maybe the leaking that Cousins was moving, that was a ploy by the agent. And we've seen it's not dirty pool tactics, but I mean it's tactics. It's certainly part of the strategy for sure. But I'm glad that we're finally going to get some closure, because now if Kirk is back, depending on the length of the contract, I think even if it's a 2-year fully guaranteed deal, I think the Vikings still should be drafting a quarterback this year, even though he's going to sit for 2 years and take away part of the viability of your starting quarterback on his rookie deal. But Jordan Love sat for 3 years. Aaron Rodgers sat for a similar amount of time, and I think that having a succession plan in place like that, where the quarterback, especially if it's a guy like J.J. McCarthy, where he's young and you definitely do need to work on a couple things, and he's going to be able to take over in 2025, 2026, I think that would be the best of both worlds still. But if Kirk leaves, I mean, you're all in on the quarterback, potentially getting up in the stratosphere and going and getting your guy. But thank goodness we're going to get some closure here very soon, because I can't take it. I need to know who shot JR. Wait, that was Dallas. Doesn't matter. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN says, hey, Kirk go to the Falcons? Not so fast, my friend. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.